Hi everyone, happy Thursday, almost Friday. That's always a good thing, just fixing that eyebrow there. I hope that you enjoyed the first two challenges. This one is a little bit different, okay? So before I launch into today's challenge, I just want to tell you about a couple of things coming up. I'm going to be launching an online course, and the online course is really about self-care and wellness and teaching you some of the strategies that I have learned over the years to do things like say no and mean it, create boundaries in my life, and really create a personal wellness sort of bubble and plan. Let's talk about boundaries just for one sec, because I think that a lot of you I'm hearing are saying I didn't have time to do the meditation, or I have having trouble shutting down my mind. And I think that can be very related to boundaries. I feel like as women, and many of us are mothers, many of us are wives, I'm not, but many of you are, I feel like we put others' needs before ourselves. And some of that, I mean, is a natural state of affairs as a mom. But sometimes we really do need to be careful with those boundaries. And we really do need to be having enough of a boundary with people, including our kids and including our partners and including our colleagues and friends, that we make time for ourselves. And then boundaries can also have to do with our own personal boundaries, like creating a boundary with how you spend money or creating a boundary with how you spend your time and energy. But anyways, if you're interested in that stuff, you can DM me, you can let me know. I will be launching some of those online modules very, very soon. Another exciting thing I have coming up is a retreat, a couple retreats. A retreat in May in Northern Ontario that I'm hosting with a friend of mine, Shannon Holmes, who is an absolute movement genius. She is a yoga and a Pilates instructor. And we're doing a retreat up north, just north of Orangeville, at a beautiful, beautiful facility at the end of May. And I'm doing another retreat in August in Panama, Central America, with another fabulous female entrepreneur, Valerie Levine, who she has her own women's empowerment podcast. She's a yoga and Pilates instructor, a Reiki master. So more info on all those things coming up, and if you have questions, DM me. But now for today's challenge. Today's challenge is going to be different. Today's challenge is going to be a journaling meditation. I think this is going to work for those of you who have trouble sitting in stillness and keeping the brain silent and focused. I would say that when I first started meditation, I did it all through journaling. And I'm sure some would argue journaling isn't meditation, but whatever, semantics, okay? Self-reflection, it's clearing the brain. So this is what you're going to journal on. And you can do this in a beautiful journal if you have one, or just a random piece of paper, type, write, whatever. But I encourage you to actually write or type, because that engaging the body and the mind in that action is part of what's going to help your thoughts not to race. Okay, if you just think about the answers to the questions, you're not occupying your body in the same way, so your mind is more likely to wander. The first thing I'm going to ask you, and I will type out these questions as well on a post. First thing I'm going to ask you to answer is, how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? We become so goal focused. We become so focused on, I want to pay off my mortgage. I want to get a raise. I want to put a pool in the backyard. I want to go on that family trip to Hawaii. How do you want to feel? And maybe if you have trouble answering that right off the bat, you need to think about some of the goals and things you want, and why do you want those things? Do you want the trip to Hawaii because it will make you feel what, right? So how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel joyful? Do you want to feel calm? Do you want to feel free? Do you want to feel peaceful? Do you want to feel wanted? Do you want to feel loved? Do you want to feel safe? Maybe you don't feel safe for some reason, psychologically, emotionally safe. I don't know. Every year I sort of choose a word for that year of how do I want to feel. And my word for 2019 has been, I want to feel abundance, and abundance in a lot of different ways. Financially, through the people in my life, through the choices I make. I just want to feel abundant. And almost every year I choose the word calm. I want to feel calm, and at peace. Okay, so how do you want to feel? Really think about that. And it can be 1 to 5 feelings, it doesn't have to be one. And then I want you to think about your second journaling question. What do you already have in your life that makes you feel that way? Okay, what do you already have in your life that makes you feel that way? And second, what do you have in your life that's preventing you from feeling that way? Okay, and that might be easier to answer than the first one. I don't know. So those are the only questions I want you to answer for your journaling. And if writing those things down, if writing down how you want to feel, what you already have in your life that makes you feel that way, and what you have in your life preventing you from feeling that way, if as you're writing those things, more comes to you, keep writing, man. Just keep writing, okay? But that's really what I want you to focus on. And then that's where the boundaries thing I was talking about earlier comes in too, because that's where, what are the things in your life preventing you from feeling that way? And can you create maybe a few boundaries with those things? I'll give you one example. If one of the things preventing, for example, one of the things preventing me from feeling calm all the time, or from feeling calm all the time, would be my colleagues. A couple of them, not all of them, certainly. Can I quit my job? No. Can I replace my colleagues? Not that easily. So how do I create boundaries with those colleagues? And I had to do that this year. And I wrote an email to a particular colleague who continuously aggravates me, and created a boundary with him where we no longer speak to one another. We only communicate via email, which is fine, because any business that needs to be done, we can do via email. And my level of aggravation in my workday has gone right down, because this individual is no longer speaking to me. And it was just a boundary. I felt like I was being rude when I first did it. I felt like, is this appropriate? Can I do this? But I took control of how I wanted to feel and created this boundary. Okay? Others might not be so easy. Maybe the people preventing you, or the situations preventing you from how you want to feel, are even further out of your control. They may even be your children. We all love our children, of course we do, but sometimes we need some boundaries with our kids. Do you need to go to every single hockey game? Maybe not. Maybe you can miss one a week, and that's your me night. You go to yoga that night. You stay home and watch TV that night. You do whatever you want that night, okay? And you send your kid to hockey with another parent. I don't know if that would work for you. Or maybe, I know we have a few parents of special needs kids on this challenge. And that's a really challenging one. I'm not going to pretend that it would be easy to create boundaries with special needs children, because it certainly would not. But maybe, it's giving up something financially so that you can afford to pay someone else to come into the home and be with your children for an evening, somebody obviously properly trained to be with your special needs children, so that you can have some time to yourself, or so that you and your partner maybe could have a date night every so often, without weighing on you, always having to care for, and that could even go for not even just special needs children, but those of you who maybe are caring for aging parents, or an unwell spouse, or something like that, okay? So idea of boundaries. So how do you want to feel? What do you already have in your life that makes you feel that way? And what do you have in your life that prevents you from feeling that way? Keep writing if you like. Talk about what you maybe can bring in and attract into your life that would help you to feel more of that feeling. And let me know how it goes. Looking forward to your feedback. Have a beautiful evening.